안녕.
Team 7 is actually terrible. Each member is far more complex and interesting when you look at them as individuals. Even Sakura, when you separate her from her obsession with Sasuke, there's not much left, but with what is left, you can see the potential for a great female character. And part of Naruto and Sasuke's story revolve around each other, with them being reincarnations of Indra and Ashura, and being soulmates and whatnot. But when you put all four of them together, it turns into a clusterfuck of toxicity and a migraine-inducing environment. Okay, maybe I'm being a bit dramatic. However, I wouldn't enjoy spending time with a chronically late teacher that's always reading smut fanfictions. Same though. Two guys that are always down each other's throats. Pause. And a girl who's always simping over one of the guys and wouldn't back me in a fight because she's either crying or knocked out. The actual point of this video is to talk about why I believe Team HEBI / Taka is better, specifically in the context of Sasuke. What do I mean by that? Well, as Sasuke's number 2 protector right behind Naruto, here's my credentials, I always believed that Team HEBI was a much better team for him, mentally, emotionally, and physically. Team 7 consisted of Kakashi, Sakura, Naruto, and Sasuke, of course. Kakashi obviously favored Sasuke during the Chunin Arc tournament section. He straight up vanished with Sasuke for private lessons, left Naruto alone with some unmemorable extra, and then forgot Sakura mattered. Even though she wasn't part of the tournament, he could have given her someone to help train her with genjutsu or something. Anyways, thanks to Kakashi, Sasuke learned the Chidori, which became one of his main jutsus. It became the Rasengan to his Naruto. Now, where does Kakashi fail Sasuke as a teacher? I believe it was the scene that Naruto and Sasuke had their fight on the hospital rooftop, and then Kakashi had Sasuke binded to a tree. Sasuke then threatened to kill everyone Kakashi cared about, which I admit is a little bit out of pocket. But Kakashi then says,
"They're already dead."
He pretty much then tells Sasuke that he also went through the loss of loved ones and revenge isn't worth it and to get over it. If you didn't already know, Kakashi lost his father, his best friend, his sensei, and his girl best friend in that order. His father suicided, his best friend and sensei died in battle, and he killed Din, the girl best friend, himself. Granted, she was the one that put her body in the line of target, but why am I bringing this up? There was no one person for Kakashi to get revenge on. There wasn't one entity or a specific individual that K-worded all these people he cared about. So he is in no place to compare his trauma to Sasuke. Because Sasuke's entire fucking clan, not the Uchiha Shinobi. Every single person was offed in one night by one person. His older brother. I'm trying so hard to stay calm right now. So Sasuke had someone that he could target his revenge towards, unlike Kakashi. Who was he gonna kill? Himself? Like father, like son, I suppose. Anyways, so Kakashi telling him to forget about revenge because he went through the same thing rubbed me off the wrong way. He pretty much invalidated Sasuke's feelings, and there was a much better way he could have dealt with that situation. Because I'm not saying that Sasuke lashing out on Naruto like that was completely right. It was wrong. I'm not saying what he did was right. But, you know, Kakashi is his sensei, is his teacher. He should have dealt with it in a better way. There was a better way to deal with it. Naruto was always picking fights with Sasuke, especially in the beginning. If you pay attention, you'll notice that most of the time, Naruto was the instigator and Sasuke was reacting. We know now that Naruto picked a lot of fights with Sasuke because he was jealous of his popularity and talent. But Naruto also felt a special bond with him because they were both alone and they were both orphans, so they could sort of understand each other. He was also so desperate for any form of friendship or companionship that he clung to Sasuke and all of Team 7. Over time, their relationship was improving and it was getting a lot better, especially after the Chunin exam, but that did not last. He also literally wouldn't leave Sasuke alone. He would be cussing him out and beg him to stay away from him, and Naruto would be like, y'all hear some? The separation anxiety goes hard. Sakura had an insufferable crush on Sasuke all throughout the series. In OG Naruto, I was able to ignore it because she was literally 12 years old. But it was frustrating that that was all she had to her character and nothing else really stuck. While on Team 7, she would flirt with him every chance she got, even during missions, which isn't great. Like, babes, please focus. This is why your ass is always getting beat. I also found her and her feelings to be rather selfish whenever she would confess to Sasuke during pivotal moments. First, when he was leaving the village, she talked about how she would be sad if he left and how she was gonna scream and was basically trying to threaten him with that. And after the war arc, it was the same thing. Talking about some,
if you care about me even a little bit, you'll stay.
That scene pissed me off. Like, bro, why would you say that, man? Why would you say that? It seemed like after all this time had passed, her feelings still hadn't developed at all. She still doesn't really understand him or knows why he's doing what he's doing. Again, not saying what he's doing is correct, but her feelings for Sasuke were very much about herself. I could go more into detail about that, but that's not what this video is about. While they were Team 7, they still cared about each other, of course. It wasn't all toxic and terrible. Sasuke genuinely cared about each of them as teammates and as comrades. He wouldn't have put himself in dangerous situations if he didn't. During the Land of the Wave arc, we see Naruto and Sasuke's teamwork at play, and we also see Sasuke sacrifice himself for Naruto. During the Chunin exam, like towards the end, when Gaara started fighting everyone, Sasuke also put himself in danger in order to save Sakura. Alright, so moving on to Team HEBI. Team HEBI/Taka consists of Jugo, Suigetsu, Karin, and Sasuke. Suigetsu was the first person to get recruited. They had a very interesting first meet. Rather than pick fights with Sasuke like he does with Karin, they seem to have more of a slightly one-sided banter, with Suigetsu occasionally teasing Sasuke and the latter just rolling his eyes or not responding. Suigetsu agreed to help Sasuke as long as they could collect the sword that Zabuza owned, and after that Suigetsu remained by his side. There's not really much to say about their relationship because we weren't giving that much to go off of, but with what we were given, their dynamic was definitely more on the chill side. And me personally, I would like to genuinely think that they're friends, and perhaps I am projecting, and that's okay. Karin was the next to get recruited. She's really similar to Sasuke. Crushing on Sasuke? Check. Healer? Check. Barely helps out during fights? Check. Violent towards a particular male character? A check. Writing a good female character can't be that hard, Kishimoto. It just can't be this difficult. Again, I don't have that much to say about their dynamic because we weren't giving that much, but with what we were given, it seems like he did tolerate her a little bit more. He didn't seem as put off by her constant flirting. And best boy Jugo was the final one to join HEBI. He would silently follow Sasuke and act like a bodyguard, which I find to be really cute. He gives his full trust and support to Sasuke because Sasuke was the person that Kimimaro died for during his final mission, so he kind of sees Sasuke as Kimimaru's reincarnation. Also, whenever Jugo loses control of himself, Sasuke is able to bring him back under control thanks to his Sharingan. So they have like a full of trust type of relationship, at least definitely on Jugo's side. And I think Sasuke also trusts Jugo to like fight and protect and whatnot. And also at one point, Jugo literally says, Sasuke's will is Kimimaru's will, so I will follow him until the end. And I just think that's so sweet. Similar to Team 7, Sasuke also cared about Team HEBI. He would definitely go back to rescue someone if they were trapped or needed help. The atmosphere of Team HEBI was more chill and controlled, and perhaps it came off that way because they were all working towards one goal. In Konoha, Ino, Shikamaru, and Choji, aka Ino Shikacho, have the best display of a well-functioning team. So when I'm discussing teamwork, I look at them as a standard. Let's start with Team 7 versus Kaguya. I'm choosing this fight to be more fair towards Sakura because at this point in the anime, she's much stronger and capable than if I was to use the Land of the Wave arc fight or anything that happened in the Chunin exams. As soon as Kaguya appeared, she was only focused on Naruto and Sasuke, seeing as they were the reincarnations of her sons, and she didn't see Kakashi or Sakura as real threats. As the fight progresses, they get teleported to a lava environment. Real boiling lava. It's not a genjutsu. Sasuke only catches Naruto, leaving Kakashi, Sakura, and Obito, who was knocked out, to fall to their deaths, much to Naruto's dismay. But Kakashi manages to save the three of them. That's when Sasuke admits that he only cares about protecting Naruto because if either one of them were to die, it would all be over. He's got a point though, but that doesn't make it hurt any less. throughout the fight, they were the ones launching like 95% of the attacks, and they were mainly working with each other. Naruto with the reverse harem jutsu plus Sasuke's Rinnegan teleportation jutsu combo. Naruto was even out here doing combo attacks by himself. Talk about versatile. It wasn't until the very last attack that we see a team combo, and I use the word team very loosely because, again, throughout the whole thing, it was Naruto and Sasuke's fight, and the other two were barely backing them. Now let's look at Team HEBI versus Killer Bee. First of all, I hate that this is the only fight where we get to see Team HEBI properly fighting because 1, I need more Team HEBI interactions, and 2, as a Sasuke stan, I cannot bear to see my man get embarrassed like this. I don't think you understand. Whenever Sasuke aunties are online roasting him, they're using this fight, and I can't say anything about it because they're fucking right. This shit was cap. Okay, so it starts off with Sasuke going solo until he realizes that Killer Bee is on some different shit and all the moves he's pulling isn't cutting it. Luckily, Jugo and Suigetsu jump in at the right time to block an attack from Killer Bee, and then the three begin relentlessly attacking him. They even have a combo attack of Suigetsu getting him wet. Pause. Sasuke's Chidori and Jugo's United States of a Smasher. Meanwhile, Karen is over here fighting like pre-Shippuden Sakura. In other words, she does nothing. The only thing is at one point Sasuke needed to be healed and he bit her in the arm, and then after not even pretending to throw a single punch, she has the audacity to be saved twice. Girl, you weren't even in the fight. You can't dodge. Maybe she didn't fight because she was a healer, and as a healer you're not meant to die. You're meant to make sure you're alive so everyone else will be alive, but she failed that too. Sis was about to get drowned by a tentacle. Pause. And then by some fire. But at least we got the Amaterasu debut. Team HEBI comes off as having more of a team dynamic during battle, and there's more and there's more instances where all the members are backing each other and fighting as one. Not Karin though. Remember, she's a female character written by Kishimoto, and according to him, girls can't fight or have a personality that doesn't revolve around guys. Now, perhaps it might not be completely fair either to use War Arc Team 7 fights because during then, Sasuke didn't see himself as part of any team. So of course he wouldn't be a team player. But the only other manga canon Team 7 fight, and correct me if I'm wrong, is the Land of Wave arc, and that's not much different. Naruto and Sasuke fight Haku, Kakashi fights Big Man Zabuza, and Sakura is there. Even during the fight with Gaara, Naruto and Sasuke are backing each other, at least in the beginning. Kakashi is backing Konoha fighting the Sand Shinobi, and Sakura is there, knocked out and needing to be rescued. But she's there. Team 7 never actually cared about Sasuke's trauma, or really tried to understand why he was going for revenge. Now, I'm not saying they should have dropped everything and helped him to hunt down Itachi. I'm certainly not putting that responsibility on Naruto and Sasuke. They're literally 12. But the level of anger in Sasuke was understandable and concerning, and Kakashi, his teacher, didn't really try to do anything about it. Kakashi knew Itachi. They were on a team together at some point. Why didn't he try to form a team or talk to the higher-ups about hunting him down? It wasn't until Itachi and Kisame showed up in Konoha to capture Naruto that they began to do something about him. Not when an entire clan was wiped out overnight and the sole survivor ended up on his team. Sasuke was 12 too. Why did they just leave him to deal with all that shit? Well, we know the higher-ups didn't do shit about Itachi because they were the ones that orchestrated the Uchiha massacre. But Kakashi didn't know that. Not even just Team 7, but Konoha as a whole is terrible for Sasuke. Not a single person genuinely cared about him. They just cared about his abilities and the fact that he has the Sharingan. You're really going to tell me that he should have stayed in Konoha where not a single person gave a fuck about the fact that his whole clan was wiped out? Not a single person cared to ask how he was feeling? I mean, the answer would be not fucking great, but at least someone asked. And no other person, no other Konoha shinobi cared to get revenge for the clan that was part of them too. It's not like the Uchiha were just their own really small nation. They were part of Konoha. Like, imagine in your high school, the entire 9th grade, just every single one of them just gone and no one asked a question. Just all of the 9th graders are just gone except for one of them. And everyone just moves about their day. Y'all don't find that suspicious? Y'all don't find that weird? No one's asking questions?
That's suspicious. That's weird.
But again, my distaste towards Konoha is a whole separate topic. So now imagine having to deal with the trauma that your older brother has bestowed upon you, and also having to deal with a girl who will not leave you alone even after rejecting her and making it obvious you don't have romantic feelings for her, whom also made a very insensitive comment about not having parents in front of you, a whole orphan. And, because there's more and, having the class clown kidnap you in an attempt to get close to that same girl. Can you imagine the stress? I know I'm being a bit extra and making it sound like Sasuke was constantly suffering in Team 7. He was suffering regardless. But at the end of the day, before leaving the village, I 100% believe that he genuinely did care about them. However, when compared to Team HEBI, they were there to help him. I mean, duh, that's why they were created in the first place. They didn't try to force him to give up on revenge and just helped him with his goal as he wanted from them. Now, whether you think revenge is good or bad is your own personal ideology. But Sasuke thought revenge good, and Team HEBI were helping him with revenge, so Team HEBI good. And even when they changed to Team Taka, they still stayed. They had every right to leave because their part of the deal was to help him kill Itachi, which he did. So they could have just left. And even after the war arc, they still joined him once again, despite how he treated them terribly during the 5 Kage Summit arc. I mean, he straight up committed attempted K-word on Karin. Matter of fact, not even attempted, he did it. If it wasn't for Sakura, Karin would have been past tense. Granted, she came back to him because she's a simp and a single
Sorry
had her folding. Girl, stand up. He won't pick you. He didn't. Either way, my point still stands. They deadass followed this man to war. Do you remember that meme that's like your dad or your mom is talking to you and they're like,
if your friend jumped off of a bridge, would you?
that same thing, but instead with Sasuke, and then Team Taka would just be like, which bridge? Let's go. Team HEBI really are Sasuke's ride or die. Naruto too. Heavy on the die. Also, aesthetically, like Team HEBI eats. Look at them. It's giving a group of trained elites formed to take down a corrupt system. A special trained assassin force. It's giving the popular squad in high school. Okay, I'll stop now. Team HEBI was formed under the condition of what Sasuke wanted. He chose these specific people and sought them out in order to help him reach his goal. And they were all under the same understanding that that was what they were there for when they agreed to join him, because he never forced them to join him. So it makes sense why they were better for him. Plus, they also developed a real bond and care for each other. Now, some people believe that Team 7 was better because they believed Sasuke was going down a path of darkness and revenge, and Team 7 wanted to pull him out of that. Which is fair, but personally I disagree. I didn't see Sasuke wanting revenge as him going down a path of darkness. Him following Orochimaru was more concerning. But Sasuke was still sort of a softie up until he killed Itachi. He had a whole rule that they couldn't kill anyone, and violence wasn't always his first answer. Granted, it was the first question. Orochimaru himself even pointed it out. Sasuke needed to be surrounded by people like Jugo, Karin, and Suigetsu. People that were also used by Orochimaru. People that were rejected by their homes or didn't have a place to call home. And people that had no loyalties to Konoha and wouldn't be forcing him back into the nation that pushed for the slaughter of his own people, because no, I would never get over that. So for me, Team HEBI is better because it was an environment that Sasuke curated himself, and they stood by his side even into the war, whereas Team 7 was put together by Konoha like all the other teams, and each member was so deep into their own agenda and their own delusions, which again, different topic, that it created a sort of, I don't want to say toxic, I suppose a more unhealthy atmosphere. But anyways, that's all I wanted to say. More Team HEBI interactions, please. Down with Konoha. Fuck Danzo and that bitch ass nigga named Hiruzen. Anyways, hopefully I was able to express my thoughts clearly. If you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments, but keep it cute and respectful. Like this video if you liked it, like it if you didn't like it, and don't forget to turn that subscribe button into past tense. If you made it up to this point, thank you very, very much for watching. This is the end of the video. Bye.